waiting and guessing, we finally learned more about what Assassin's Creed Infinity is. The recent Assassin's Creed showcase revealed that Infinity is a hub that will link Assassin's Creed games together. But after speaking with the project's leader, Marc-Alexis Côté, IGN has learned much more. Assassin's Creed Infinity will be a home for a variety of games of different genres and lengths. It will mix premium boxed games with paid-for and free content. There will be a multiplayer that will unite the franchise's eras, and it will be the place where Assassin's Creed's modern-day story will now live. But let's start with Infinity's core concept. It is not a video game, nor is it a replacement for traditional Assassin's Creed games. It is a platform that will host both past and future Assassin's Creed entries, starting with Codename Red, a shinobi-themed RPG coming sometime in the future. This full-price single-player open-world RPG can be purchased as a boxed product, just like any other Assassin's Creed game. But when you boot it up, the first thing you'll see is the Infinity Hub rather than Codename Red's main menu. So Infinity is somewhat of a launcher, but rather than displaying games as a library collection like in Steam or Ubisoft Connect, Infinity will wear the guise of an in-universe Animus interface. Remember Helix from Assassin's Creed Unity? It's basically that. New entries in the series will be displayed here as DNA memories rather than games. Côté told IGN that we should expect Infinity to be more than just an Assassin's Creed-themed launcher, though, and that it will evolve over time. Infinity will not start out as a game, he said, but the experience will grow and its parts will connect together. One of those parts is the modern-day storyline of the series, which will now live in Infinity. Côté said that players who just want to immerse themselves in the past will be able to play without knowing who Desmond and Layla are, and will not be interrupted. The implication then is that the main games will now be solely set in the past. So if Infinity does feature a storyline but is not a game, does that mean we won't be controlling a modern-day protagonist anymore? Will the meta storyline be limited to things like audio logs and emails? Côté wouldn't say, but he did tell IGN that the way the story is told will evolve over time, and that you, the player, will be the main character in the meta story, and that Infinity will be your Animus. He also explained that things like the encyclopedia will be moved to Infinity in order to maintain coherence. But Infinity doesn't just aim for coherence between games. Ubisoft also hopes that it will bring more variety to the series. Future Assassin's Creed games released in Infinity will vary in both size and genre. Codename Red is another RPG, but Codename Hex, the second game that will launch in Infinity, will be something different. Côté said that he wants people to go beyond the expectations of Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, and that Hex and Red are taking different tracks. The idea of Infinity is that Assassin's Creed can offer different experiences of differing sizes, not just 150-hour RPGs. Côté hopes that this will bring more diversity both in the places and time periods the series visits and how they are represented. This will mean some smaller scale games, which Côté says will be priced accordingly. He even said that we should expect free experiences. Perhaps these will be similar to Valhalla's free DLC, such as its Odyssey crossover and the upcoming final chapter. Perhaps the most unexpected thing Infinity will do, though, is bring multiplayer back to the series. Known internally at Ubisoft as Project Invictus, it will be a standalone game delivered through Infinity. A business model has yet to be decided, but Côté said it is a possibility that it will be free to play. While we don't yet know if this multiplayer will be a return to the cat and mouse chases of Brotherhood or the co-op missions of Unity, it does look like Invictus will unite the different eras of Assassin's Creed through its characters. Côté said that the concept art for Invictus hints to this possibility of crossing over characters from different periods, and that there is an intention for Invictus to bridge different games together. Meta stories, new genres, and multiplayer are all fascinating aspects of Infinity's promise, but it seems that the platform's biggest aim is to provide much longer periods of support for each individual game. Rather than discrete offerings, a new Assassin's Creed will become part of Infinity instead of just living and eventually dying on its own. That means there won't be a hard end cap on developer support for each game. Côté said that Ubisoft wants to support everything that comes out on Infinity for a much longer period of time. He said to think of Infinity as like a single-player MMO, which would grow the franchise's worlds and experiences over time. Infinity sounds much less disruptive than I'd first imagined. This is clearly not Fortnite for Assassin's Creed. The series is still, at least as far as we can see, built around the concept of single-player adventures in historical open worlds. But Infinity promises to make those worlds less static and more malleable. We still know very little about what it will eventually deliver, but whatever it is, Infinity sounds like a fascinating response to the seasonal content factories that are gaming's multiplayer monoliths. For more from the series, check out the trailer for the newly announced Assassin's Creed Mirage, as well as our Rewind Theater for the Easter egg-packed Leap into History trailer. And for everything else, stick with IGN.